Hey everyone, welcome to the Huddle. This is really special and I think you'll find to be a very interesting edition. We're at a really interesting place we're going to talk about here in just a second, not too far from Northwest Arkansas where I live and work. And I have two guests today. The first, Jen Barnhouse with the Nature Conservancy, and then Chris West is also here with us from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. So we're going to talk about a really cool program that Walmart has been involved in and sponsoring for almost 20 years, since 2005, Acres for America. And this is something that I think a lot of you are going to enjoy learning about and learning all, not only what we're doing, but what's happened. You know, Chris, we're talking about this, what's happened the last couple decades, how it's evolved, and even more exciting, where we think it's all going. So, you know, Chris, maybe start with you. And who are you? Where are you from? How did you get into this space?
Chris West. I'm from Denver, Colorado, and I'm the Rocky Mountain Regional Director for the foundation. But more importantly, today I am the person who leads our Acres for America partnership with Walmart. How I got here, you know, it was never like most things. You never plan exactly how your life's going to go. I've always enjoyed the outdoors. I grew up, my dad's a geologist. I grew up running around out in the middle of nowhere and all over the country, and just always had an appreciation of how big this country is and how diverse this country is from a landscape perspective. And I get to do that every day. Well, work, which is amazing.
It is, and I get to see a lot of the country because of what I get to do, and traveling around, seeing our stores or fulfillment centers, associates, great. But you're right, the landscape is so diverse, from Seattle to Miami and New York, back to Southern Cal and everything in between. If you can think of it, it's here somewhere in this country.
It's amazing. I mean, a few weeks ago I was in the California redwoods, and 2 weeks from now we'll be in North Carolina on the coast. Just getting to see all the different places. It's really kind of
beautiful
cool.
Place. Two of my kids were born out there when we lived there, so I love that place as well. Jen, same question. Who are you? Where are you from? And then we're going to talk about not only how you get here, but actually where we are.
Okay. So Jen Barnhouse. I'm actually a native Texan, but have lived here in Arkansas for about the past 16 years or so. And of course, it's an absolutely beautiful place to live. It's hard not to fall in love with it. Kind of like Chris, I grew up a very outdoorsy kid, camping with family. Loving being out in nature, doing a lot of hiking. Also had a very close affinity for animals and wildlife, and a lot of curiosity about nature and the natural world. And so I knew early on my path was going to take me to this kind of work. And so, I'm now the Deputy State Director for the Arkansas chapter of the Nature Conservancy, and get to kind of wake up and do this every day, which is pretty special.
It's special. So 16 years in Arkansas. Arkansas is the natural state, so easy to talk about in the natural state, nature and our surroundings. So talk about where we are today, what's behind us. It's a beautiful place. Not, as I said, it's not too far. It's a pretty long drive from Bentonville, Arkansas, but it's just not too far when you look at it on a map.
Yeah, we are sitting here at the Kings River Preserve, which is not too far from Eureka Springs, Arkansas. This is a 5,000 acre preserve, lots of rolling hills and valleys, obviously very beautiful. But what's really special about it is that there are 10 miles of the Kings River that run through this property. And the Kings River is an Ozark River. I mean, many people know the Buffalo River, also an iconic Ozark River. But the Ozarks, because of how they were formed, are pretty globally significant in that there are very high rates of biodiversity in these rivers. And the Kings River is a great example of that. There are 18 species of aquatic animals that live nowhere else in the world you can find here. And so from a conservation perspective, this is a very significant place.
So I think one of the questions a lot of people will have is what is conservation in terms of land like this?
You're going out and you're buying a piece of ground and saying, this is going to be set aside. We're going to keep this as a conservation property. It's not going to be turned into houses. It's not going to become a parking lot. It's not, we're going to keep it for its natural value. And that can be not only wildlife, but also recreation and, sort of the inherent ability of clean air, clean water, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the idea. We contribute it, we get it and keep it in its natural state, and it stays that way forever. Yeah. And it's hard to imagine 2 million acres. That's a lot of, this is 5,000, and it's extraordinary. It's huge. You have 10 miles of river running through it. But that program, all the way back to 2005, Acres for America, talk about your organization, how you got involved with it.
Yeah, the partnership between Walmart and the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation does date back over 20 years now. And 20 years ago, we founded this with the idea of let's see if we can do a conservation acre for every acre that's impacted by Walmart. It's developing, be it a parking lot or a super center or whatever it may be. And we quickly realized that was a great idea. There's a lot of great opportunities out for land conservation all over the country, but also that we could do a lot more. And like we said, we went from about 100,000 acre goal to saying, well, let's take this to 2 million. And we
Just 20 times. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's amazing what these projects like Kings River, like our partners around the country have been able to pull together. These are not easy. Real estate deals are not easy.
Sure.
And
Sure.
big real estate deals are not easy. And doing it for conservation is amazing. And so we've been just thrilled to be a part of that and have Walmart on our side the whole way.
And so with that goal starting at 100,000, roughly 1 acre for each acre that was developed, the ratio's changed quite a bit over the years.
Yeah.
Positively.
Yeah, and it was one of those things, we got into it a little bit and we realized that there are big projects out there. And there's landscapes that where communities really say, please help us be part of the protection of these places. Please help us secure these watersheds so we can not only go out there and recreate, but the wildlife has a place to live and we can get clean air and clean water out of the deal too.
And when you look back at the last 20 years or so of development, the 1-to-1 really is now closer to 20-to-1. So way better than we would have ever imagined, a lot more space and would imagine. All this is just conserved for people and wildlife to use. And it's great for families or time to get away, time to get together, but this is here for the public.
Yeah, and there's so many reasons that you can get out and enjoy the land. I mean, you might be a fisherman, you might be a hunter, you might love hiking or bird watching, or sometimes I don't know how to even describe it, just going out and sitting.
Yeah, go where the cell phone doesn't work anymore.
Yes, go where the cell phone doesn't work, and you can just kind of notice stuff and recharge.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of value in that.
One of the things that we were talking about is when you know an organization like the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation endorse a project like this, an Acres for America project, it helps other organizations decide that they can lean in. Is that right?
Absolutely. And so I would say, at the Nature Conservancy, projects like this really come together in partnership. And when we talk about, properties that we want to conserve, we look at the things that are like sort of highest in terms of conservation priority and value. But then we really look for places where, partners also have an interest and can really lean in, that are good for communities, that are good for people, that are good for the neighbors around, and that will really create a space that everybody is sort of bought into, and that will be there, like Chris said, for future generations.
What do you think will be the next phase of enabling people to contribute in a more broad way?
Well, you kind of teed that up really nicely, John. The Walmart has provided a way. We've got a roundup campaign where Walmart customers can come on Walmart.com, and as you check out, you can say, I want to be part of Acres for America and add my 38 cents on my roundup on my bill or extra dollar. And it's amazing what that little action takes when you multiply it times the number of Walmart customers out there. And we've been able to do a couple of new projects. Last year we did a project that added a land buffered around Redwoods National Park and another place around Grand Teton National Park, where we've been able to really take money that came for contributions
just get it over the line
from Walmart customers, not just from the company, but from customers, and that gets amplified by the stores, and it's been amazing.
Yeah, so maybe a question for both of you. Personally, when you're a place like this, how's it make you feel?
Oh, you just feel the tension sort of leave your body. There's nothing quite like it. You might have a lot going on, and I don't know. I get to a place like this, and I can just feel like a big full body sigh happen almost.
On the way in, I noticed I lost all the bars in my phone, and I was okay with that for a moment. Yeah. So it just slows everything down. So we've done a lot the last 20 years, and it's we were talking about this before we started. It's always great to be in a position where you have and you are doing things, and it's significant. It's, as we said, it's a couple million acres already, and other projects on the way. So let's talk about the next 20 years. What do we think what's exciting? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges? And whether you're an associate at Walmart, perhaps a customer that wants to be involved, or just someone that is associated and knows the company, and you're hearing this, what can we all do to make a difference? Maybe Jen, start with you.
It's funny kind of thinking about 20 years out because, some of myself and my team just got back from, a retreat where we're actually talking about 2030 goals. And so we're sort of focused on this 2030 time period and what is really the next, 6 years or so, and really trying to hit some very ambitious global goals by that year. And so I guess if I'm thinking beyond it, I would say I would hope we hit all those goals, and those are really around land conservation, some climate mitigation, healthy lands, healthy waters, things like that, and that we really are sort of living in a world where everybody has access to clean water, clean air, certainly places like this where they can go and recreate and be in nature, that we are trending more in that direction than away from it.
Yeah, that's great.
And
And
I think what we see in this program and running it for the last 20 years has been the demand that the communities want this. There are places, every place around the country wants to do some conservation in some form or another. And the ability to bring funding to do that is really rewarding on my part. 20 years from now, boy, my kids will be grown up and maybe have families of their own by then. I'd love to think that they'd be pretty proud of the work we did over the last, by then it'll be 40 years.
Right.
And that we'll be able to put, add a couple million acres to what we've been able to accomplish. And more importantly, that other people get to do that there's communities that maybe don't have access to a natural area or a park or a trail. And that we can say in 20 years from now, like we helped these communities make that happen.
Yeah, and in the first 20 years, give you confidence we'll be able to do that. Because even if we stop today, I think we'd all be really proud of the progress from the beginning until now. Right, I know. But if we did, we'd be really proud. So you can only imagine what all is possible the next 20 if we stay with this and we all work together to make a difference.
Absolutely.
These types of projects are extraordinary. I'm really proud to be a Walmart associate, and this is one of the many reasons I'm proud to be a Walmart associate and represent so many people all over the country, and having the ability to talk about projects across 50 states where everyone can have the opportunity to participate in any way that they choose to. It's great, living here, as you do, Jen, as well, because you have so many options of things you can get out, and it's great for relationships and people, and great place to go play with the pets. But it's just calming and relaxing, and without the work, who knows what would be here right now. I'd love to stay all day. We can't. We'll probably have to go back to our day jobs. I know I do. But thanks so much for coming, both of you, and for the work, the partnership. This is something we're proud of and something I'd be really excited about and inspired by as we look out into the next few years. So thanks for your time, and everyone we'll see you out there. Thanks for listening in.